Hey YouTube, it's Andrew again here at Toyota, and I want to take a minute to go over what I think is a pretty cool car, cool fault, now that I've figured out what's wrong with it, and share it with y'all. So I get this car. It's a 2013 Toyota Highlander with the 2GR V6. The customer states they went to the store, they came back out from the store, got in the car. When they did, they had no power steering assist, a whole bunch of lights on the dash, and that the car continues to blow this ECU ignition #1 fuse, 10 amp fuse under the dash down here. Get in the car, confirm the complaint. Indeed, no power steering, lots of lights on the dash. Bring it in, perform a health check, find out that I have a couple of codes. These codes are all powered by that fuse. Loss of communication with yaw rate sensor, steering angle sensor, and a couple others. I replaced the fuse. Initially, the car works great. There's no issues. I think maybe it's a fluke. I go to back the car out, back out of my bay, go to pull out of the shop, the fuse pops again, lose power steering, wrestle it back into my bay, and then start going over it one more time. This fuse, unfortunately, and I'll try to show just a little bit here, powers a ton of stuff. So I immediately start checking for the low-hanging fruit, looking for a silver bullet, things that are easy to test. I'm looking for water intrusion at the kick panels, a lot of connectors down there. This car does come with a built-in water leak, also known as a sunroof, but there's no evidence of water getting in here, which is unusual. Most of these smell like a water leak because they leak. This one does not. No water intrusion, no corrosion that I find anywhere. And I start checking these circuits that I had these codes for. Also, it makes me think that it could be steering angle sensor, yaw rate, something to do with wheel speed sensors of the skid control ECU, because I had to be moving for the fuse to blow. I replaced the fuse with a breaker right here, and I'm able to duplicate it, start systematically one by one going through and unplugging different various modules that this fuse feeds. But it continues to trip over and over and over again. I can't figure it out. Finally, the breaker trips and it stays tripped. It will not reset, and it's continually popping even when I'm static or sitting still. So frantically, I'm going through trying to figure out everything. And again, this fuse runs everything. I'm taking off the master door switch. I'm up here in the center console. You can see, hopefully, we've got quite a lot of stuff torn apart in this car. As I'm unplugging these, I'm also back probing the terminal and checking continuity between it and the fuse to ensure that I have good continuity, less than an ohm on every wire. And then I'm checking too from that terminal to chassis ground to ensure that I don't have a short to ground somewhere. All my wires are testing good. Finally, I come up here to the rearview mirror and I notice that I don't have my green LEDs lit up here. And I turn the mirror around and I'll try to see if I can put a picture in here of this thing. There is, first of all this stuff is hanging from the wire harness. And all of this is wrapped around the back, tight piece of someone's rosary and some string from a necklace or something that was up here. And what it has done is it actually pulled out this wire. This is fed by that ignition fuse, and this is the ground, this white wire with the black trace, and these two were touching each other and had actually kind of welded one to the other, which was making the breaker trip all the time. So it took me about 3 hours to figure this out. A bunch of time running around chasing my tail, checking things that I thought that it might be, especially down here, the shifter or the range selector. See the sticky stuff down here. It's not uncommon for people to spill soft drinks and stuff in here, and it comes in and creates a short. That wasn't the case. In this instance, it was the rearview mirror. But I thought that it was pretty neat, kind of a rare thing. You don't see a lot of these. I've seen one other instance where something like this has happened. Excuse me, there was a Tacoma. The Tacoma has a lot more stuff going on up here with the rearview mirror. They had a rosary around it. With a metal clasp, piece of that clasp was able to actually fall into the back of the rearview mirror through a little opening and cause an intermittent short, which would take out all of the active driver assistance stuff, turn every light on the dash on, and that one cost another technician here a whole bunch of time trying to figure out And man, I think he ended up getting internal like an hour or two for that. He probably had 5 or 6 hours in that car over the course of a couple different visits. But I thought this one was neat, kind of a weird one. Let me know if y'all have had anything similar go on to where you got a rearview mirror that's causing all these issues. I mean, it was a big safety concern. The power steering is super heavy in these cars when they don't have power running to them. Certainly unsafe to drive. But yeah, moral of the story, I guess, don't hang stuff from your rearview mirror. And you better believe next time I get in a car and I got some weird stuff hanging from the rearview mirror, I'm going to check there first, because I could have found that with the naked eye. I didn't even need a meter to do that. So anyway, I apologize for the rambling video. Again, it's the second time making this, just due to all the noise here in the shop. Hopefully this finds you well. Maybe it'll help somebody in the future. Thanks for watching.